Who is Sue Gray, the person charged with looking into the Downing Street parties? Well, my alarm bell started ringing when I saw Michael Gove on video on the news saying that everything was fine because Sue Gray, someone he knows really well and who has great integrity, is leading this investigation. So let's all wait on that. And he was so effusive with his praise of her that got my political antennae ringing. And then when you see a lot of other top conservative politicians giving out the line that she is unimpeachable and her judgment is sound and she is so widely respected, gave me the initial feeling that methinks the lady doth protest too much, or the lady doth protest too much, methinks. Why are they emphasizing so much her integrity and loading all their eggs into that basket, not knowing, we would imagine, what her findings are going to be? Well, if you dig into this, then it's looking more and more, from what you can find, like Sue Gray may well be the Conservative Party's own Winston Wolfe. If you remember from Pulp Fiction, the character the wolf who turns up and says, "Hi, I'm Winston Wolfe. I fix problems." And he cleans up after crimes and he hides the bodies. And very interestingly, there is an article from 2015. It's a BBC article written by Newsnight's editor of the time, Chris Cook, which is an expose of this very powerful woman hidden deep in the civil service and very largely unknown to the public. She is regarded as a force of conservatism within the civil service and has been described as user-friendly for ministers, providing them with what they want to hear and help that they want to have. And there are various examples in this article that together comprise something of a litany, a treasure trove, if you will, of covering up misdeeds by conservative politicians and their political operators. And I would like to go through some of those so you get an idea of why the conservative politicians put so much faith in her, perchance. Firstly, Michael Gove himself, who says he's got a long working relationship with her and he trusts her thoroughly. Well, back in 2011, it was found that Michael Gove had been using his wife's email for political business, for department business. He was the education secretary at the time. Sue Gray gave him the advice that emails that he sends about departmental business from his wife's email account are off the servers and therefore not FOIable. They don't need to be kept for reasons of transparency. That's what she told him. That is actually wrong. It's factually wrong. It states in the article it was wrong, but I've also talked to legal experts who say that it's wrong. And that's one of the issues that we've had to deal with in more recent years of ministers going off their official account to try and conduct business in untraceable secondary accounts. Anyway, she got that wrong there, and it is unthinkable to give someone that advice and seemingly encourage them to take business out of official traceable records, and that cost tens of thousands of pounds in legal fees before it was straightened out. So that's Michael Gove's relationship with her since 10 years ago. Also, there was a huge incident around her advice to special advisors, or lack of it. Now, special advisors are meant to be working for the taxpayer, not political parties. So even though they're the special advisors of a minister from a political party, they are meant to be themselves part of the civil service. So they are not meant to be campaigning and they're not meant to be out canvassing. Now, this is what some special advisors were actually doing. So some others wrote to her, to Sue Gray, asking for clarification of these very strict rules, saying whether special advisors are allowed to engage in any political activity at all. To clarify that, she refused to answer. And it was said in the article, this was probably because if she said, yes, those rules are right, then how did she let it slip on her watch? Or if she said, no, the rules are wrong, then that would have meant that she had in secret changed the rules. Well, she refused to answer, not just once, but 7 times. Some Conservative special advisors decided, right, well, we don't want to break the rules anyway. And they refused to go campaigning and canvassing and got punished by the Conservative Party for it, for doing those refusals. Sue Gray, however, clearly was not punished. She has also advised special advisors on how to completely destroy email trails. This is according to Chris Cook's own personal allegation, saying that we at the BBC know that. And then finally, she is one of the key people behind that huge endeavour to block the release of Andrew Lansley's diaries. And that consumed tens of thousands of pounds of public money spent by the government and years blocking the release of Andrew Lansley's official diary as to who he was meeting and when in the lead up to NHS reforms. Perfectly FOIable thing, shouldn't be secret at all. But she tried to argue that it should be secret and tried to block that for years and spent taxpayer money on blocking that for a Conservative minister. So, given that it is widely said that she has a strong penchant for refusing FOI requests, leaving no written records or trails of things that should be transparent, and given that she is obviously such an ally of Conservatives within the government and their structures, does it now make sense why they are all coming out and overemphasizing how everything rests with Sue Gray, how she is so trustworthy, how she is so reliable, how they have faith in whatever she uncovers or doesn't uncover? I find this really alarming. Remember, before it was Sue Gray, it was Simon Case who was appointed to do this, a man hugely compromised because he had been at the parties himself that he was meant to be investigating. So it looks very much to me like this whole investigation is a play for time in order that they can get their lines straight. And given that we now have advice circulating allegedly around top civil service and government actors about any emails or WhatsApp messages that they might have about parties should be deleted, you almost wonder where those instructions might have come from originally. And I think we'll end it there, but I suggest that we all look into who Sue Gray is and what else she has been expert at in the past.